Some actors do their job, collect their paycheck and go home. Others develop, well, let's just call it a condition. They believe they are tortured visionaries put on this planet to elevate cinema to a higher plane of existence, while the rest of us mere mortals fail to understand their genius. Of course, we're talking about Jared Leto, a man so committed that he treats every role like a personal religious experience and expects the rest of the world to applaud him for it. In Jared's world, cinema isn't just entertainment, it's a sacred ritual, a chance for him to grace the screen with his presence and show everyone how it's meant to be done. A man willing to push boundaries, rewrite the rules of acting, and deliver moments of pure, unfiltered genius such as...
Boof.
Jared Joseph Leto was born in 1971 in Louisiana. He spent his childhood moving between households and picked up the one trait every Hollywood-eccentric needs: an unshakable belief that he was destined for something far more important than everyone else. He eventually drifted into art school to study visual arts and filmmaking before deciding that the world urgently needed Jared Leto to become an actor. His first proper breakout came with My So-Called Life in 1994, a teen drama aimed squarely at young women where Jared played Jordan Catalano, the textbook emotionally absent pretty boy. By the late 1990s, he was basically the discount Leonardo DiCaprio, getting cast in supporting roles where he was usually just there to look pretty and get beaten up. But don't be fooled, for Jared Leto, these weren't just supporting roles. No, these were spiritual journeys, sacred contributions to the craft. Well, at least that's probably what he told himself.
I don't read script reads me. What the hell does that even mean?
But there's only so long you can play the glorified extra before you start believing that you're destined for something greater. So naturally, Jared went looking for a project that would prove he was a serious actor. That project would turn out to be a film called Requiem for a Dream, released late in the year 2000. The movie follows the lives of 4 people as they each descend into addiction and self-destruction. To prepare for the role, Jared reportedly dropped around 30 pounds, stopped washing himself, and wandered around the streets of New York pretending to be homeless.
Right.
Even though Jared was still starring in movies, his band 30 Seconds to Mars quickly grew from a side project to a major part of his public identity. The band steadily built a huge following throughout the 2000s. Their fans began referring to themselves as the Echelon, which sounded less like a fan base and more like some sort of secret society you had to be initiated into. But Jared didn't just allow it, he encouraged it like a man that had been waiting his entire life to be worshipped. The band even started selling merchandise with the phrase, "Yes, this is a cult," and they also offered expensive VIP packages where Jared could be seen in white robes, arms outstretched, giving speeches as if he was the second coming of Jesus Christ.
You serious?
During this period, he didn't stop acting, but he did choose roles that reinforced his image as a transformative performer. By the early 2010s, Jared Leto wasn't just seen as an actor or a musician. He had carefully shaped a dual image as both a method actor and a frontman with a near-religious fan base, and Hollywood was about to reward that image in a big way. In 2013, Jared Leto starred in Dallas Buyers Club. He played a character called Rayon, a trans woman suffering from AIDS. As usual, he went fully into method mode. He dropped weight, shaved his entire body, and reportedly insisted that the cast and crew refer him only by his character's name, even when they weren't filming.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The film was a success, and yes, he gave a great performance, but if his ego couldn't possibly be inflated any further, Hollywood went and did the one thing guaranteed to push him over the edge. They gave him the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Winning the Academy Award didn't just reward his performance, it validated his entire approach to acting. Now an Oscar winner, Jared Leto decided it was time to gift the world his next masterpiece. In 2016, Warner Brothers came out with Suicide Squad, where he played the Joker. The studio hyped up Jared Leto's Joker as a major selling point, marketing him as a dark, dangerous new take on the character that would redefine the role for a new generation. After all this hype, he was given like 10 minutes of screen time. And yet, despite barely being in the film, Jared behaved like the entire movie revolved around him. His method acting went even more bizarre. Reports from set claimed he sent Margot Robbie a live rat. Apparently he mailed used condoms to crew members and gifted dead animals to the cast, because apparently these are the sorts of things that the Joker would do. At this point, Jared wasn't just playing the Joker, he was fully committed to living as the Joker, regardless of whether the cameras were even rolling.
Man, I don't drop character till I've done a DVD commentary.
After Suicide Squad, he appeared in Blade Runner 2049. He appeared briefly as a philosophical tech mogul. The Little Things in 2021 saw him playing a suspected killer. Then in House of Gucci, buried under heavy prosthetics, he gave a loud attention-grabbing performance that split audiences, some calling it committed, others calling it embarrassing. And then, in 2022, Sony released Morbius. This was Jared Leto's first time headlining a major superhero franchise, and well, it was a complete disaster. Dr. Michael Morbius, a scientist who tries to cure his illness with bat DNA and instead turns himself into a half-vampire anti-hero. For this role, Jared leaned fully into the method actor bit. Reports claim he insisted on using crutches, taking so long to hobble to the bathroom that the crew had to wheel him around in a wheelchair just to keep the filming on schedule. The film flopped. It tried desperately to be dark and serious, but ended up being flat and lifeless. The internet in peak sarcasm adopted it as a meme. Hashtags like "It's Morbin Time" started trending, all ironically, and then Sony, in a moment of legendary corporate confusion, thought that this meant that fans were loving it and re-released it in theatres, where it bombed again. Morbius became the first movie to flop twice in the same year. After Morbius came out, everything changed. For years, Jared Leto had been seen as unhinged, but still a talented Oscar-winning actor. The cult stuff wasn't a secret, the retreats, the devoted fans, the strange worship energy, but people didn't care. But after he became a walking meme instead of a serious actor, that respect vanished. Suddenly, people stopped laughing at the cult jokes and started paying attention, resurfacing old rumours and allegations about sending predatory messages to extremely young fans, behaving in ways that would have been career-ending for almost anyone else. All of it started to gain traction in a way it never had before. Jared Leto hadn't suddenly become worse, people had just stopped giving him the benefit of the doubt. But just when it started to look like his career was over, guess who stepped in to throw him a lifeline? Disney, of all the companies. The same Disney that turned their back on Johnny Depp before anything even reached court. The same Disney that fired Gina Carano overnight for tweets they didn't like. Yeah, that Disney had been developing a new Tron movie since 2017 with Jared Leto attached, back when he was still riding high on that Oscar win. By the time Tron Ares finally went into production in 2023, Jared's reputation was in ruins, and Disney could have easily walked away like they've done before. But anyway, just months before Tron Ares released in 2025, 9 women publicly accused Jared Leto of sexual misconduct. 9! For any other actor, that would have been instant career death. But with Jared Leto, Disney didn't care. They fired up the promotional machine and marched him right onto the press tour as the face of their new $180 million movie.
I got nothing.
When Tron Ares hit theatres, reality set in fast. Its opening numbers were poor, pulling in around $33 million domestically and only about $60 million worldwide. A brutal start for a blockbuster of this scale, especially one that would need $500 million just to break even. And in true Jared Leto fashion, reports claim he spent production demanding to be called Ares on set, because of course he did. Disney ignored all the controversy, the allegations of predatory messages to underage fans, the 9 public accusations of sexual misconduct, and still pushed him as the face of their film. And for what? You know, Jared Leto still behaves like this visionary artist, waiting to be understood. But after all of this, the truth is simple. Hollywood didn't turn on Jared Leto, the audience did. And once they are done with you, no Oscar, no studio, no cult can save you. And that's the blunt truth of it.